Welcome to Cents Worth. I'm Ryan Fair. I apologize for not getting this out yesterday. Today is April Fool's, April 1st. Lindsay just walked in. Goodbye. And Lindsay's home. So the reason... It was me, guys. It's not you. It was me. Okay? The reason why I couldn't get it done yesterday was, one, by the time the boys went to bed, I was just exhausted. So Lindsay went on a nice girls' vacation. Went out to California, Palm Springs, for 4 days. So late last week through the weekend, I was on daddy duty. And by the time last night rolled around, I was just too tired to sit down, go through anything. And at the same time, I was extremely disappointed in how Duke played and how they lost to Michigan State. So I was just not feeling it. I was tired. I wasn't feeling it. And so I apologize. It's late. I had a full day of work. Nolan had t-ball practice. And so here we are. I don't have a lot of topics tonight. So we're going to just talk about just a couple things. And, if it's 20 minutes, it's 20 minutes. Not overly concerned with it. And it's something for you guys to listen to. A couple things going on. Get my opinions out there on some things. It might be longer, who knows? But we'll dive into it. So again, like I said, I was on daddy duty, and tried to make it as fun as I possibly can while managing two kids, a 6 and a 2-year-old, 2.5-year-old, and so from Thursday to Sunday night, it was daddy duty time, and so. What we did on Friday was, Friday's usually the night that we'll let Nolan and Harrison stay up a little longer and, get a movie or a show on Netflix or whatever they both want to watch. And they'll watch an episode or two of it or a movie while, we do something different for dinner. So we plan out dinners all week, but Friday's usually a night that we'll do, if it's nice weather, something on the grill, or go out and get something or make something that they can do. So what I wanted to do on Friday was we like to, instead of ordering pizza, make a pizza. So went to Publix, got all the stuff of what the boys wanted. So Thursday night was just a regular night. It was get the kids chicken nuggets, I think it was. I can't even remember what I gave them, but basically a normal dinner in our house for them. And I had food left over from the week, I think, is what I had. I can't remember either. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So Friday, we made pizza. So it was pizza night and then pick something on Netflix to watch. And Nolan found something because it was called Gnome Alone instead of a play of words, instead of Home Alone. And during Christmas time, he found Home Alone and wanted to watch it 10, 15, 20 times. So we rented it a few times because for some reason this year during the holidays, Home Alone, a Christmas staple movie, wasn't on any of the channels. So it was something that we had to rent all the time, which was annoying. I mean, by the time I rented it 3 or 4 times, I should have just bought the damn thing. But anyways, so he saw Gnome Alone, and it was this animated movie about a girl who moves into Frankenstein's old house, and these little monsters come out of this portal. It was a kid's movie. From the quick description of what I just gave you, it doesn't sound like a kid's movie, but it's a kid's movie. So he watched that. Harrison was kind of into it, not really. So Harrison goes to bed, but so that was our Friday. It was make pizza, movie, bed. Saturday, Nolan had a t-ball game, so we did that Saturday morning. And then the rest of the day, really nice day here in the Carolinas. On Saturday, it was mid-70s, sunny. Just a really nice early spring weekend day. So we spent, 90% of our day outside. And my buddy Matt, who's been on the podcast a few times, and his son Cole came over. And so we had the kids playing outside for the day, for the afternoon. We had some of the basketball games on, some golf, and some baseball, because now we're into baseball. Opening day was Thursday. Man, I could talk about that, I guess. My Yankees a little disappointing in their first series, 1-2 against Baltimore, who is shit, but apparently so are we, and we're now injury prone. Hicks is out, Cervino today, Anahar and Stanton also went on the DL. Ellsbury's still hurt, which I don't think the guy has been healthy in 2+ years, but struggling with injuries early. I'd rather be injured early than late in the year. So let's hope that this doesn't continue and that we get healthy and we start playing a little better. But 1-2 to start the year against Baltimore. We had a game today against Detroit. Today it's Monday, so let's see, Monday, April 1st. But yeah, so opening day for baseball, and I'll get back to that. But anyways, so baseball was on. Yankees are up 2-1 as I'm recording this at 8 o'clock Eastern. 2-1 bottom of the fifth against Detroit. So we had that, and we just did a good old-fashioned cookout. So the boys had hot dogs. I switched it up a little bit. I made hamburgers, but I made them for the week. So I had hamburger last night and for dinner. And then what I like to do is I didn't put any cheese on them. I'll cut them up and put them in a salad, so it's like a hamburger salad. But then in my salads, I don't put any dressing on them. Weird like that, but I don't mind a dry salad. So cut the hamburger meat up and everything. So I grilled those as well. But then I got we had some stuff from Butcher Box. So if you've seen on my social media, Lindsay and I ordered Butcher Box, and I like to show what comes in the box because I never know. She's handled all the orders, so I never really know what they're going to send us. So they gave us ribeyes. So I put those in the skillet, and so that's what Matt and I had for dinner. Nice little steak dinner on a Saturday. Enjoyed the basketball games, and with that weather, when the weather starts getting warmer, I tend to, and I don't know if anyone else is like this, but I tend to leave the craft brewing area and go back into your lighter beers. So Corona Light was the choice this weekend because of how warm it was. Nice lime in there, delightful. I like a Tecate. Mexican beer usually is the go-to in the warmer months in the summer. So with it being in the 70s, sun's out, had the Coronas going for a while, and then I switched it back up to the old Copperhead, the old vodka, ginger ale, and lime to finish out the night, and it was fantastic. But a good night, a good day, fun times with friends, and so we were able to do that with the boys. And then Sunday it was recoup day, so it was okay. I'm in the finish line of being single parent this week, and I have a busy work week this week. I have a big majority of the people on my team that work for me, as well as that support the client that our team supports from a sales side, operations, and then my side is delivery services. They're all coming into town. So after today, basically, I'm in meetings all the way through Thursday. So again, it was good that I was going to get this out. But I have a busy week coming up, right? So by Sunday morning, it was all right. Let's relax. Let's get through the day. Let's just do what we can, because Mom is on her way home. And the hope was that she would be home in time to see them. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. She got home around 8:30 on Sunday night. The boys were both exhausted from the weekend, which was a success for me, right? Like, The last day, what you want to do is get them through, and then by the time it's bedtime, everyone crashes. So last night, Sunday night, they were both dead asleep by the time Lindsay got home, which was a success. The house was clean, another success. So overall, a good weekend. Not bad being on daddy duty. Someone was asking me at work, like, "Oh, what are you going to do with them? Are you going to be able to do this, take them out and do this?" At this point in time, where sometimes it can be hard because with the two boys, they're all over the place, right? Like at Nolan's T-ball game, Nolan's playing, but Harrison wants to run around the field and everything. And I want to try and watch the game, but Harrison doesn't want to watch the game. So like when you try and take them somewhere like a putt-putt or like a bounce house or anything like that, like one or the other is not going to want to be involved in it. And so it was, all right, it's nice out. Let's just hang out in the backyard. We have a nice, beautiful backyard fenced in, and we did everything. We played baseball. I brought my chipping mats and nets out yesterday, so we were hitting the golf balls. Harrison was hitting baseballs off the tee. Nolan was hitting golf balls, the practice ones, into the woods, and then going in the woods, just doing boy things, right? So I cleaned off the screened-in porch, so they had lunch and dinner out there because the weather was nice enough. So I just, as much as I would want to go and do things right now with their age, it's kind of hard because it would have been really nice on Saturday. Hey, let's go putt-putt. But I know Harrison wouldn't, trying to corral him, it would have been tough, and Nolan would have been like, "No, I want to play," and I'd be like, "I can't," whatever. So the plan was keep him at home and just have people come over, and then on Sunday relax, hang out outside, do whatever, and that's what it was. A success. Daddy duty in the books. Mom had a successful trip to California, had a great time. All double thumbs up for how everything went. So we're going all the way back to Thursday. Baseball, man. Opening day, we've tried to talk about baseball on every single podcast, and I realized 2 episodes ago I forgot. And I went through my entire bracket instead and never mentioned baseball. But baseball's in full swing now. Opening day was Thursday. Yankees played. They won 1-0, and now, like I said, 1-2. But baseball's back. Excited about it. Again, the whole spring training and leading up to all this is the time of year that I really, really enjoy. It gets the juices flowing again. You're getting out of the cold weather. You're getting into longer days. Like right now it's 8:15, and I can still see it's dark, but it's not pitch black outside anymore. Like a couple weeks and month or two ago, it'd be pitch black outside at this time at night, and it isn't now. And so it's just overall the spirits are higher. And baseball, it's on. And actually, you know what? Hold on one second. I mean, it's 8 o'clock here on a Monday. Monday Night Baseball's on. I'm just going to turn it on and put it on mute. But, so baseball's back. And I'm excited about it. And I'm looking forward to another good season, hopefully, for the Yankees. And for whatever team you might cheer for, I wish them the best of luck, unless it's the Red Sox, because the Red Sox can eat shit. And so that's what I'm looking forward to. And then going, and the TV just came on, and it's the Golf Channel, but going into the following week, so next week, what I will do is, for the podcast, it is, I will go and maybe do something around golf because we have the Masters coming up. And it'll be the start of the Masters week. So maybe I'll do something next week around golf, planning a golf trip, because I have a golf trip coming up that I plan. It's the 3rd year now that I've planned a spring golf trip with my buddies. It's 12 of us going, and I get real detailed into it, and I do a player pack, all this stuff. So I think I might do that next week in honor of the Masters, which I think will be cool, a little different than what I normally have been doing, which has been basically like updates of things going on in the sports world or in my life or whatnot. Next week, I think I'll do something around golf. So we have baseball, which is good because it takes my mind off of what happened yesterday in college basketball. So the Final Four is set. And if you have the Final Four, fantastic. I think that's great. Good job. If you go back 2 episodes, you'll know that of the Final Four, I have one team out of the 4, Virginia. And Virginia, I had losing to North Carolina. Well, North Carolina's not in it. It's Auburn now. So basically, my bracket's done. But what's hilarious is that I'm in a group, and there's 13 of us. Every single person had either North Carolina or Duke winning it all. So everyone's bracket right now at this point in time is messed up, and it's really just dependent on who did they have in the championship game, and did they have anybody advancing past the Final Four into the final that wasn't Duke or Carolina. I didn't. So again, like I said, it was Virginia that I had playing North Carolina moving on from them. And then I had on the other side of the bracket Duke versus Michigan. Well, that didn't happen either. You got Texas Tech and Michigan State. So let's just take a quick shot at that and see what we got here. So Texas Tech, Michigan State. A lot of people, I think, forget. Maybe they don't. I mean, I'm making an assumption there. I think Texas Tech's a little underrated for the fact that they won, if I'm not mistaken, they won the regular season Big 12. The first time in, it feels like 30 years since Kansas didn't win it, but I think it's like 14 or something like that. But Texas Tech won the Big 12 regular season. And then Iowa State won the Big 12 Conference Championship tournament. So, I mean, Texas Tech is a legit team. The Big 12 it is a legit basketball conference year in, year out. And so you got Texas Tech, a regular season conference champion, and then you have Michigan State, a regular season and conference? Did they do both, or did Michigan get the regular season and Michigan State get the conference championship? I'm not sure how the Big Ten worked itself out, but regardless, you have a top team like Michigan State. Tom Izzo's team does this every single year. They lull you to sleep. They're very highly ranked in the beginning of the year. They lull you to sleep a little bit in the beginning of the year. They'll lose a game here or there. Like this year, they lost 2 games to Indiana, who was trash. And then all of a sudden, tournament time comes around, and they just find themselves in Final Fours or Elite Eights every year. Every damn year. Just Tom Izzo's got that team that just does it. They grind themselves through games and get themselves there, and that's what they did. They beat Duke. They beat a team that Duke really just didn't play well yesterday. I mean, it was too many turnovers. It just was not a good game from them, and credit to Michigan State that even when they weren't playing well, they still found a way to win. And so they're there. The other side of the bracket, Virginia overcame their demons from last year, losing to a 16 seed in the beginning of the tournament. This year they've worked themselves all the way to the championship game, and in the regular season of basketball, they only had 2 losses, both against Duke. So Virginia's a legit team. And then you have Auburn. And this is what I was telling. When Matt came over on Saturday, and I was telling some of my other friends too that we were just talking about the Final Four and everything, was Auburn. Because they're a 5 seed, I think they were really flying under the radar. But when you go back to the beginning of the season, they were a preseason top 10 team. So that team is legit. That is a really good team that Bruce Pearl has. And again, they kind of underwhelmed in the middle of the year, but they are playing really good basketball at the right time, and they're beating really good teams. But as a 5 seed, in the beginning of the year, top 10, they could have been a 2 seed. They could have been a 1 seed. They fell all the way down to 5, and they found that rhythm again. And so I'm looking at the finals here, Texas Tech, Michigan State, Virginia, Auburn. My new prediction would be, I think it's going to be Michigan State versus Virginia, and I think Virginia is going to win the national championship this year. Do I want them to? I don't want any of them to win. I'd rather. I don't even know if I'm going to watch the games. I mean, I'm just that depressed about how the season ended for Duke. Just underwhelming. Just not good. But if I do watch the games, my prediction is that Michigan State versus Virginia in the final, Virginia wins it all. And to be honest with you, I don't give a shit really who wins it. But congratulations to whoever team does and whoever fan base gets a national championship. And if you are a part of one of those fan bases, I wish you the best of luck this coming weekend. And yeah, because the games are on Saturday, and then the national championship is next Monday. So wish you the best of luck if you are a Texas Tech, Virginia, Michigan State, or Auburn fan. If you're not, you're probably in the same boat as I am, and don't give two shits. And I was so ready. Because Saturday, Carolina lost. I was so ready. I was waiting. I was just sitting there stirring around going, I can't wait. Can't wait, because all the Carolina fans just disappear. When it comes to Carolina losing, they just disappear on social media and your text messages and everything. They just kind of go away, and you never hear from them. But leading up to games or after they win big games, they're everywhere talking about how they're the greatest team in the world. And I was just waiting, and I was like, yes, that's going to be great. We're going to win. We're going to beat Michigan State. We're going to be in the Final Four. We're going to have our day. And then it happened. And I'm glad I didn't say a damn thing. I'm glad I didn't say a thing to any of my friends. I'm saying it now of what I wanted to say. But I didn't say anything to my friends. Didn't say anything on social media. I just was waiting because I just wanted it to happen. And it didn't. We lost in the same damn round they did. Can't say anything. I had them in the fucking final. They were going to play each other. It was going to be the greatest thing ever, and we were going to win it. We were going to win the national championship over the Carolina Tar Heels, and it would have been glorious. And we both lose in the Elite Eight. Back-to-back days. That's basically how I felt yesterday after the game. Just like multiple times I said in the text message chain to my buddy, fuck this shit. And that's how I felt. That's what it was yesterday. It was a depressing way to end the weekend and the night, but man, I was real. After Carolina lost, I was like, yes, here it is. We're going to win. But nope. Very anticlimactic from this side of the house for that. So that's the Final Four. I hope you all enjoy it. I will watch if I can, if I feel up to it. I don't know. We'll see. See what I got going on. I definitely not watching the one game. The game starts at 9 o'clock at night. And yeah, I'm a loser. I go to bed. I'm sorry. I'll be tired probably by the end of the week. Fun thing, though, coming up, speaking of basketball, another underwhelming team, the Charlotte Hornets. But I will be going to a Hornets game. First time I've been to a Hornets game since they were the Bobcats. And before that, I'd only been to one other game, and it was when they were originally the Hornets in the old Coliseum. So I've only been to 2 NBA games here in Charlotte. This will be my third. Bringing Nolan, so it's me and Nolan. We're going to a Hornets game. He's more excited, I think, for the other team because they are a dinosaur. We're seeing them play the Toronto Raptors. But I had to remind him, like, no, our team's the Hornets, so we're going to root for the Hornets. But yes, we're doing that this week. It's his first basketball game. And again, like I've mentioned, it was only my third or so NBA game. And let's see where we're at right now for the Hornets. Hornets are still in it, by the way. They are 3 games back, but they have not been eliminated yet. They are close to potentially getting eliminated. But maybe Friday's game means something. Toronto's already clinched, number 2 in the East. But Charlotte right now is sitting in 10th. Top 8 teams make it. The Charlotte Hornets in 10th, 21.5 games back of Milwaukee, but they are 3 games back of Miami, who holds the 8th seed right now. So a long shot for them to make it in, but hopefully Friday's game, when me and Nolan go and see it, it means something, and maybe they won't underwhelm like my Duke Blue Devils did to end the season. But yeah, so we have that going on. I'm just pulling back up my notes here. We're going to finish on. Okay. So he's excited about it. It's through his school, so the school gets some money back for fundraising or something. I don't know how that all works. I leave that up to my wife. But we bought it through the school code and all that junk. So should be fun. And I'm sure I'll give an update on that next week before I get into the golf and everything, and my prediction for the final of the basketball, because again, it might not be Michigan State versus Virginia. If it is, then you already know, and I'm not going to give another prediction because I've already predicted it. Let's talk about, and I'll finish up with this, is I mentioned earlier that Nolan had T-ball on Saturday. Oh, sorry, that was my drink hitting my boom. So Nolan T-ball on Saturday, and he has practice on Monday night. So we had practice tonight. And it got me thinking about, topics of stuff I wanted to talk about. And one of the things that I've shied away from the last couple of years of him playing has been being the coach. And I started thinking about, why do I do that? Well, there's a couple reasons why. One, my work schedule does get in the way every once in a while to where I have to travel and I can't make practice, and I don't want to commit to being one of the coaches. I don't mind being an assistant and helping, which I've done in the past, but I don't want to be the main coach because I don't want to commit to something that I personally or professionally just can't commit to. Practices are at 5:30 at night. I mean, sometimes it's just hard to get to with work and travel. So I've kind of gotten into this mode now to where him and I will practice at home. And if you don't know my background, I played collegiate baseball, so I have a really good understanding. I'm not patting myself on the back on that one, but I have a really good understanding of, obviously, how to play baseball, how to play the sport. And I've been around it my entire life. My dad was one of my coaches for a long time, up until basically middle school. So I had that as well. So I had that, the father always as the assistant or the head coach, which isn't a bad thing by any means. But what I'm trying to get out of it, I guess, is making sure that my kids can listen to other coaches coach them, and that they're not always reliant on only listening to me or being able to only be coached by me, because I see that with some other kids that I've over the last couple of years has been basically they will only listen to their parent, or they will only listen to other coaches, not their parent, who is the main coach or the assistant coach or whatever it is. So I want to make sure that Nolan, and I'll do the same thing with Harrison, make sure that they are able to be coached by other parents and other coaches that aren't myself. And then in the meantime, if I needed to be an assistant, I can certainly do that. Or if I just need to practice with them in the backyard and make sure that they are getting the fundamentals that they need and the proper, and I don't want to say the proper coaching, but because the coaches are doing a fine enough job, but if I see if there's anything that I want them to change that I know is the right way of doing it, because, again, I played collegiately, that's what I'll do. And so Nolan was starting to wrap his bat around his head the other day, and nobody was correcting him on the coaching staff. So after practice and the game, we went in the backyard like the next day or something, and he was starting to do it again. I was like, nope, see, that's what you were doing. I'm like, you think, because it's a kid, right? You think, I can generate more power if I have this longer swing, but once we're starting to get to coach pitch or machine pitch, like, you're not going to be able to hit the ball. It's too long of a swing. You got to be more compact. Like, all this stuff that just I started working with him on, as well as some mechanics from a throwing perspective and getting the bat, all these things, right? That they weren't correcting, because I think at this point in time, I think a lot of the coaches are just, one, their kids have never played. I know for a fact that this year there's only one or two kids on the team that they've played before. Nobody else has played, and I think some of the coaches, the dads, had never coached either. So I'm watching it patiently, but at the same time I'm stepping in when I need to make sure that not to be like the overbearing parent, but like make sure that he's getting the proper coaching that he needs to continue to improve. Because one thing that I have noticed is when the kids aren't improving and the kids aren't seeing improvement in themselves is when they start to shut down. And I saw it tonight in practice where there was this one kid and he was complaining constantly because he wasn't able to field any of the ground balls. It was constant. I can't field it. Look, it hit me again. And he's yelling at his mom. And his mom's trying to stay patient on the sidelines and telling him that he needs to listen to the coaches and everything. And basically what should have happened tonight with him was he probably should have just been taken off the field. But again, the coaches weren't paying attention to him. He didn't want to be there. His mom's trying to talk to him off the field, but there's no real like coaching happening there. And he started, because he wasn't seeing improvement, he just started checking himself out. And that's when you're at that age, like these kids they want to start seeing improvement. And when you don't see improvement, you start basically just shutting it off. And you're starting to see that now. So I want to make sure that Nolan's staying engaged with that and seeing the improvement, because his personality, he's just harder on himself than other kids, I think, his age, to where, he does get frustrated with when he doesn't, I'm using air quotes, master something right away. So, I'm really trying to teach him a lot about the practice and why we practice things. And that's how you get better. And don't expect to be great at something right away, because that's not how that works. And for some, they get it sooner than others. But for others, you have to work a little harder for it. And the practice gets there. And we've been working on his hitting and his throwing and his fielding. And I'm seeing those improvements, and he's seeing those improvements. And so he's staying engaged in it, and there's no forcefulness, right? So like today in the practice, the kid yelling at his mom, "You're making me come here. I don't want to be here." So I'm like, oh man, like this kid already now has a negative feeling towards the sport. And we dealt with this with Nolan a while ago. He had that with soccer. He just did not want to be at soccer. We tried to do soccer with him, and he cried, "I don't want to be here." And we said, you know what? Let's cut our losses. We tried. Let's just get him to do things that he does enjoy. And right now that's swimming and baseball. So that's what we're trying to do. Now, I'm not saying you should just let your kid dictate what, they want to do, but at the same time, if the kid's not happy and causing a scene and being rude and disrespectful and then ruining practice or games for the other kids, then maybe it's time to look and say, maybe this isn't the right fit for my kid, and find something else that's, going to better suit them. But all that said, I was just thinking about, coaching your kid versus letting others coach. And I'd love to know your thoughts for anyone listening. I'm sure I'll get some opinions from some of you, which is what I'm looking for on this particular topic. As well as when you see something like that, like I saw tonight, where the kid was being very disrespectful towards his parent and then causing issues with other kids, and I saw him throw dirt into another kid's face. Now the other kid's mom saw it as well and was able to take action on it. But like, what are your thoughts on disciplining another kid? Because at this point in time, the other mother had gotten so fed up with the kid, she had walked away and had left practice to probably cool down, because I think she was close to removing him from practice, and then just walked away for a little bit, and that was when the kid threw the dirt in the other kid's face. My initial reaction was to discipline the kid because none of the coaches were. And again, that's the other thing. Like when you're a coach and you're seeing that the kid isn't behaving and acting properly, I feel like you need to step in and take action there on your own, and shouldn't wait for the parent to discipline the kid, because the parent, I expect the coach, if my son's not paying attention or if my son's not behaving, I fully expect the coach to manage that and not just let that happen, because now the kid is ruining the practice of the game. And that was what was kind of happening. And all the other parents around us were kind of seeing it. And it's like, all right, like, and the mom's like right up against the fence yelling at the kid, and then she just walks away. And then that's when the kid acts out even more. It's like either the coach needs to take action or the mom should have, because now the other parent has to take action and discipline the kid. And that's not fair to that other parent. So I want to know your opinion on that. As a coach, do you feel that it is your right to discipline the kids, or do you feel like the parent should discipline them? And that's what we're going to leave it at. I'm going to cut it short here. Well, I mean, not short. I went 36 minutes. I thought it was only going to be 20 minutes. That's what I have for you tonight. Love to know your thoughts on some of that stuff. Your Final Four picks, how'd that go for you? Your brackets, and then coaching your kid versus not coaching your kid, and disciplining kids, or letting the parents discipline them. As always, like, subscribe, share, do whatever. I don't really care. Just keep listening.